Breaking news! The Denver Broncos made a move that few saw coming, leaving fans questioning the team's vision for the tight end position under head coach Sean Payton. Yes, my friends, the Denver Broncos have a few names in their sights, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, make sure you've hit the like button if you're a true Denver Broncos fan. If possible, comment like this: "My heart bleeds orange and blue." Now, a decision that has generated controversy behind the scenes. A player who was once seen as a potential impact piece on this offense is now gone without ever playing a single regular season snap for Denver. Donald Parham, the talented and physically imposing tight end, was not extended by the Broncos and has since been signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that doesn't even have a defined quarterback situation. This unexpected turn of events has reignited the debate over what exactly Sean Payton is looking for in a tight end. Throughout his coaching career, Payton has placed a high value on the position, having worked with players such as Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, and Dan Campbell. The expectation was that once he found his ideal tight end, this offense would take a big step forward. When Denver signed Donald Parham, a player with an impressive highlight reel and familiarity with offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi's system, excitement among fans grew. After all, Lombardi had previously worked with Parham in Los Angeles, where he was chosen over another talented tight end who later found success with the Patriots. Yet despite these connections and potential, Parham never saw the field for Denver. His departure raises significant questions, especially when considering how the Broncos have handled other tight ends. Greg Dulcich, who once demonstrated his ability to make a difference, most notably in a standout performance against the Jaguars in London, was supposed to be a key piece of this offense. Yet despite being healthy, he found himself sidelined as a healthy risk all season before being cut. If a physically gifted tight end like Parham and a proven playmaker like Dulcich weren't the right choices, then what exactly is Sean Payton looking for? This mystery has led many to believe that the answer lies in the upcoming NFL draft. The Broncos hold the 20th overall pick, and the tight end class is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in years. Draft experts have been debating whether Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland is the top prospect at the position, and the gap between the two has reportedly narrowed. While Warren is considered the more traditional tight end with strong blocking ability, Loveland brings elite athleticism and yards after catch ability, reminiscent of a younger Jimmy Graham. Payton has historically favored tight ends who can be dynamic weapons in the passing game rather than just blockers, so Loveland could be an intriguing option. However, Denver's approach to the draft could shift depending on free agency. The recent release of Gerald Everett by the Chicago Bears opens up an interesting possibility. Everett, a veteran tight end who has bounced around the league with stints on the Rams, Seahawks, and Chargers, has had moments of brilliance, but also some frustrating inconsistency. When Joe Lombardi was the offensive coordinator in Los Angeles, Everett was one of his key players. So there's a built-in familiarity that could make him an attractive option for the Broncos. If Denver were to sign Everett, that could allow them to prioritize a different position in the draft, perhaps targeting a wide receiver instead of a tight end. The tight end room has been one of the league's worst in terms of production over the past 3 seasons, consistently ranking near the bottom. Adding a veteran like Everett could stabilize the position while allowing the team to address other pressing needs.
But there's another layer to this conversation. What about the quarterback situation? Bo Nix is expected to take the reins, and a reliable tight end could be crucial to his success. If the Broncos fail to add a true difference maker at the position, it could hinder Nix's development and limit the offense's effectiveness. The team has made it clear that they are moving forward with Nix as their guy, so surrounding him with the right supporting cast is essential. And then there's the possibility of a reunion that would send shockwaves through Broncos country, Von Miller potentially returning to Denver. The Buffalo Bills are reportedly considering cutting the veteran pass rusher, and the idea of bringing him back has sparked debates among fans. Some argue that Miller could serve as a mentor to young edge rushers like Nick Benito and Jonah Ellis, providing invaluable leadership and experience. However, others question whether he has enough left in the tank to make a real impact on the field. While some have drawn comparisons to DeMarcus Ware's late career role in Denver's Super Bowl winning defense, there's skepticism about whether Miller is still at that level. So, Broncos fans, what do you think? Should Denver target a tight end in the draft, or should they sign someone like Gerald Everett in free agency? And how do you feel about the possibility of Von Miller returning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Broncos country, we've got a lot to talk about. If Sean Payton and the Broncos choose to pursue a tight end in free agency, Gerald Everett stands out as a logical target given his history with Joe Lombardi. But is he the right answer? His highlight reel suggests he has the athleticism and playmaking ability Denver has lacked at the position for years. However, there are concerns: his inconsistency, history of fumbles, and tendency to disappear in certain games. While he has delivered some incredible performances, including some dominant plays against teams like the Ravens, his stints in Seattle and Los Angeles also featured frustrating lapses. Broncos fans have been waiting for a true impact player at tight end, and while Everett could provide short-term help, he doesn't necessarily offer the long-term stability the team might need. If Payton sees him as a short-term fix, that could mean Denver plans to use its draft capital elsewhere. But if the Broncos view this as an opportunity to finally solidify the position for years to come, the draft remains the best avenue. So let's talk about the two top prospects again: Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. Loveland, as mentioned earlier, is an elite athlete with yards after catch ability that jumps off the tape. His playstyle mirrors that of past Payton favorites like Jimmy Graham and Julius Thomas, tight ends who weren't necessarily dominant blockers but created mismatches in the passing game. Loveland has the speed and elusiveness to be a true difference maker in this offense. However, his blocking ability remains a concern, and Denver will need to decide how much they value that trait. On the other hand, Tyler Warren is a more traditional tight end who can be a dominant blocker while still being a viable receiving threat. He fits the mold of a player who could immediately improve the run game while also providing a security blanket for Bo Nix. But does he have the same game-changing potential as Loveland? That's the big question Denver's front office has to answer. This debate becomes even more interesting when factoring in the other rumors swirling around the Broncos' draft strategy. Reports have surfaced that Sean Payton was incredibly high on Bo Nix, higher than many other quarterbacks in this draft class. While the exact rankings remain unclear, the speculation is that he had Nix rated above J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., and possibly even Drake May. If that's true, it signals just how much belief Payton has in Nix to be the future of this franchise, and that makes the tight end decision even more critical. A young quarterback's best friend is often a reliable tight end, someone who can bail them out on crucial downs and provide a consistent target over the middle of the field. If Payton truly believes Nix is the guy, then surrounding him with weapons that fit his strengths is going to be key. Could that mean prioritizing a tight end at number 20? Or could it mean taking a different approach, perhaps bolstering the offensive line or adding another top-tier wide receiver? That's where free agency could again play a role. If the Broncos feel comfortable signing Gerald Everett, that could free them up to use their first-round pick on a different position. Wide receiver remains an area of need, and there will be some elite talent available at number 20. Players like Adonai Mitchell and Ladd McConkey have been linked to Denver in various mock drafts, and with the way Payton values offensive playmakers, it wouldn't be shocking to see the team lean in that direction. But here's another possibility: what if Denver doesn't go offense at all? The Broncos' defense still has holes, and with a deep edge rusher class in this draft, there's a chance that Payton and general manager George Payton look to build up the defense instead. That would be a controversial decision, especially given how much investment the team has already made on that side of the ball. But if they believe in Bo Nix and think they can find offensive weapons later in the draft or in free agency, it's not out of the question. So what do you think? Broncos country, should Denver draft a tight end at number 20, or would signing Gerald Everett be the smarter move? Is Colston Loveland the perfect fit for this offense, or should they prioritize someone like Tyler Warren? And what about Von Miller? Would you welcome him back for one last run in Denver? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the debate going. The offseason is heating up, and the Broncos have some big decisions to make.